Hi everyone, welcome to the TaskRay December 2017 release webinar. I'm glad that all of you could join us today. My name is Alyssa and I'm on the product team here at Bracket Labs and I will be leading this webinar. Jamie, our VP of Marketing, is also here to assist me today. We're very excited to take you through all of the changes that came with this release. This slide covers the release timeline. The December 2017 release was pushed to all sandbox orgs a couple of weeks ago and to production this past Saturday. Hopefully some of you have already had the chance to check out some of the new features, the ones that we'll be going over today. There are many ways that you can connect with us. You can always reach out to us by email, which is support@bracketlabs.com, or you can go to our support site, which is support.taskray.com. We are also on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and we have a Trailblazer community group as well as a group on the Power of Us Hub. Always happy to hear from you, so please reach out to us if you have any suggestions or questions. Finally, we'll be doing a live Q&A today during the webinar, so just ask us any questions in the webinar chat box and we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. So today I will assume that most of you are existing TaskRay users, so I will not be doing an in-depth overview of TaskRay. But if you would like to see an overview, we actually have an overview webinar coming tomorrow, so December 14th, and you can sign up for it on taskray.com/webinars. That's also where you can find some of the old recordings of the webinars. There is a lot of good content there, so check it out if you would like more information. So December 2017 release, here are the key new features that I'll be talking about today. This release comes with an all-new project view and it takes it up a level to display information at the project level. There's also a new info tab in the right sidebar that shows project insights and allows making charts. And we're also introducing the functionality to generate a shareable link in plan view. We've also updated the TaskRay project's lightning component, and there are also a few small changes that I will quickly show at the end of the webinar. All right, so let's jump over to TaskRay. So the first thing that you'll notice when you log into TaskRay is that there are now two new tabs at the top, which allow you to switch between views, so portfolio and work. The work tab includes all of the existing TaskRay views, so Kanban, row view, plan view, and calendar, as well as the control to show or hide status lists. So that's in the work tab. But if you switch over to the portfolio tab, that will open the new project view. And right here, so this is the project view. So all of this information is projects. You can expand projects. So let's say if a project contains task groups, you will see an arrow next to that project, and you can expand to open it to see task group information. By default, this view will show you the project name, its start date, its progress, its end date, and owner. But it's also possible to add different columns to this board. So most of the project fields, so any custom field that you've added, standard fields, most of those will show up in this drop-down, and you'll be able to add a column just by selecting it, and then you can remove it if you would like. You can also change the width of these, so if you want to see more information within a certain column, you can do that. This view also allows you to make edits right from here. So if a field is editable on a project, you will see this pencil icon. You would click on it, and then you would just enter new information and hit enter, and it would save. Another thing that you can do in this view is you can sort it. So let's say you want to sort your projects by start date, you can do that. Or if you want to see progress, see which projects are getting close to being completed in that order or the opposite order, you can do that as well. Another feature in this view is that it can be exported. So if you configure this view, you would select, let's say you want to print all of these projects and you want to see task group information on this one project. You would click export right here and select print, and that would just print whatever you saw on the board right there. It'll print preview, and you can also save it as a PDF if you would like. And notice that the projects that I did not expand, they stayed not collapsed. They don't show task group information. But you can quickly expand all of them if you would like and print it that way. You can also export this view as a CSV. So you just select it and it would download a CSV file to your computer, and it would include all of the information that you've configured as well as all the task group information. So that one will just include everything from that project, from all the projects on your board. So the way that you can control the list of projects right here is using a project filter. So right here, I'm currently only looking at my project, but I can select any of the other filters. So there's all projects. So if you want to see all projects that are available to you, you can select that. You can select favorite projects, template projects, or you can even use single project search. So let's see that one. So let's say I want to find a specific customer project. So I would just start typing that here. And here's the project that I wanted to see. And it just switches over to that one specific project. You can also get really granular in terms of which projects you see on the board. So from the same project filters menu, you would select Add Project Filter right here. And this would take you to the same project filter setup that you've probably seen in board filters or in other Kanban, like other TaskRay views like Kanban. And you can create the same type of a project filter that you would there. And also all of your existing saved project filters that you've created earlier, they will also be available here. So let's just quickly create a new project filter. So we want to see, let's say, all projects. And we'll add a filter to say that we want to see all projects that have an account that is Acme. Then let's name this Acme project. And you would save it. And then once you select this Acme project filter, it would show you all of the projects that are for Acme. And let's actually see. So I made it the criteria that it would show account Acme, so any projects linked to the Acme account, and it's right there. So you can really create really specific board project filters to change the list of the projects that you see right here. So that's the basic functionality of the project view, but also this view comes, well, actually this will be available across all views, but right here you will notice a new info tab. And the way that you would filter the information in that tab is by selecting your project. So you can select specific ones or you can select all of them. Right now I'll select all of them. You will see a badge right here showing the number of projects that I have selected. And you would open the info tab, and that's where you will see some project insights. So you will notice that it has two tabs right here, but here's the first tab, which is the insights. So in the insights, you have your snapshot component. So the snapshot will show you how your tasks are distributed across different task status lists. And it'll show you the overall percent complete on the selected project, so the average of that. How many tasks are overdue within the selected projects, how many are in the schedule conflict, and how many are blocked, if there are any. There's also a milestones section, so that will show you any milestones that are on the selected project. And the milestones, these diamond icons, the milestone icons, they will be matching the color of the status list that they are in. If they are overdue, the date will also turn red right here. And you can also click on the milestone name and it will open the task details right there if you wanted to take a closer look. There's also a tasks at risk section, so that will show you any tasks that are in a schedule conflict within the selected project, as well as show you any overdue tasks. So that's a quick way to see whether anything needs attention. Any similar to the milestones, you can click on the task name and it will open the task details right there. Finally, the last section of the sidebar is tasks by team member. And this will show you all the team members on the selected project and how many tasks they have within a certain status list or multiple status lists. So right now it's showing me finished tasks. So it's telling me that Jessica Smith has 4 tasks that are finished from the projects that are selected, and so on. So it sorts them by most tasks to least tasks per team member. But let's say you wanted to see prioritized tasks and finished tasks, where you want to see prioritized this and started tasks. So you can really select any status list or a combination of status lists, and it will filter the list of team members and show you how many tasks they have within those status lists. You can also use this settings icon and select or deselect certain sections of the sidebar. So let's say you don't care to see milestones right here, but you'd rather focus on some of the other ones. You would just select it right there and it would change what you see in the Info tab. The Info tab can also be exported. So you would click this button and it would show you print preview. From here you'd be able to either print it or save as a PDF, and that will be everything that you see in the sidebar. It will get printed for the selected projects. So the second part of the Info tab is charts. And charts use task information, so task data from the selected project, and allow you to make quick charts. We've added 5 different chart types. There are 2 bar charts, horizontal and vertical, donut chart, a line chart, and a pie chart. And you have 3 different aggregate types, and you can select between different fields from tasks to create your charts. So let's create a couple of charts really quick. So let's do a vertical bar chart. Let's see a count of tasks, so how many tasks, and let's see owner. So we've changed the chart to see how many tasks each team member has within the selected project. And right here you will also see a summary at the bottom of what you see in the chart. Let's do a pie chart really quick. See how many tasks and task groups. So seeing the distribution of tasks across task groups. So you have your pie chart right here and a summary table down there. So I mentioned earlier that that Info tab is available in all the existing views. So if you switch over to the Work tab, so we're going back to Kanban, and the way the Info tab works in the Work views, the other TaskRay views, is that it uses information from the filtered tasks. So if you're using board filters to see only specific types of tasks, the Info tab will only take those into account. Whereas in Portfolio View, it was using all of the tasks from the selected projects. So let's say I just want to see my tasks. So I filtered the board. It now shows me a filtered list of tasks. It's much less than all tasks that were visible earlier. And I open the Info tab. It changes. It's only showing me information for the tasks that I see on the board. And similar to the charts, now it'll only use the visible tasks on the board to create the chart. All right, so the next thing that I will talk about is external sharing. So if you would like to share a project, so let's say we want to share this customer success project, you would do that by opening its project details. So I've already got this set up, but that would be part of the configuration that you would have to do if you wanted to use this feature. So it would use the available for external sharing checkbox right here. And you would need to also add external sharing link field to your project. So the way that I would share this project externally is I would check this checkbox, I would save, and then that would automatically generate this URL. So that's the link that you would be able to share with anybody that you need to share the customer success project with. So let's open that link. And that takes us to plan view. So that is the view that would be visible in that link. So it won't show any other TaskRay views, it's just plan view. And it's also only in read-only mode. So that means that the people that you share this with, they won't be able to make any changes. They won't be able to edit any information, but they will be able to see how tasks are scheduled on the timeline, whether something is overdue, and also just who the tasks are assigned to. So that would be the information that they would see. So it's a good way to check on progress status, but it's not really used for collaboration. So that's the external sharing feature. The information on how to set everything up is on our support site. So check that out if you are interested in this feature. It uses Salesforce public site, so you would need to set that up, and then a couple of additional setup things in TaskRay. Also, we've added a validation rule with this that is optional, so you can turn it on if you want to restrict who has the ability to share the project. So if you don't want anyone but the project owner to be able to check that checkbox, there's a validation rule for that that would only allow the project owner to share the project externally. The next thing that I will show you is the new Lightning component that we've updated. So it's an existing TaskRay My Projects component, but I'm only going to talk about the updates that we've made to it. So this is the updated My Projects component, so TaskRay Projects. One of the big changes with it is that it now also has a project filters menu right here. Before, it would only show you my project, so only your projects that you will have a task on or are a project owner or have a checklist item on. But now you'd be able to switch between all projects, or we can see the project filter that I created earlier in Project View, the Acme Projects filter. So I would select that and it would show me just the Acme projects. Another change with it is now the projects component will show you task group information if it's there. So you can see the phase 1, phase 2, the bars. And I don't think I mentioned that in Project View, but this is similar to Project View. The bars, the progress bars of the task groups, their placement is relative in how they are scheduled within the project. So this one is moved to a little, it's not completely aligned with the project bar. It's because it starts later than the project starts. But this one is aligned because that's where it starts. And same with the end date. So the bars are relative in terms of their placement. And the other change with this component is that we've added a time section to it. So if you have time tracking enabled, you will see this section in this component. So there will be an estimated time and an actual time, and that will pull information from your project. So those are the big changes that we have, and I'm just going to show you a couple of small additional things that we've added. One of those things is if you're using task groups, before when you would add a task group, it would automatically go to the top of the list within a project. But now when you add a task group, you will have an option to place it either at the top or the bottom. And also you will have an option on task group menu right here, so you can quickly move a task group to the top. Well, this one only has 2 task groups, but if you had more, it would go all the way to the top or the bottom of the list. So you can now use the arrows, and you can use the options to move the task group to the top or bottom. Another small change that we've added, so let's see, so we have our timesheet view, and before you would only see totals right here, so total per task, but now we've also added a total row at the bottom, so it will show you your total hours logged per day. So if you have multiple tasks on this timesheet view, then you would see a total per day. And one small last thing is now you can also share your project, task, and board filters with roles. So before it was just groups, but now you will be able to share it with roles. So let's say I want to share this Acme project filter with the CEO, and I can just do that rather than making a group. So those are some of the big things that we've added with this release. And I'm going to switch over to Jamie to see if we have any questions.
Sure, we've had lots of questions. One question that we got that is great is when you're on portfolio view, can you, from that screen, make a project a sub-project of another?
A sub-project? So yes, you will be able to make a sub-project. And let me show you how you would do that. So let's say I have this customer success project and I want to add a sub-project to it. There's this 3-dot icon right here, so similar to the menu icon right here. And it'll include all of the same, most of the same options, just with a couple of additional ones. And right here you would have your add sub-project option, and you would fill out the information similar to how you would do it in other TaskRay views. One thing with this view is that it won't show that sub-project relationship, so it won't indent the sub-project of customer success, but it will still be visible right here on the board. And you can use different project filters if you want to see a full hierarchy. You can get really creative with how you set up that criteria.
So this is I think a more general question, but someone is asking about on our Lightning setup here, how we're getting the home tab next to TaskRay in that top nav bar.
Yeah, so that is something you can modify through Salesforce setup. I believe it's called something like Lightning app within the quick find menu, and you would be able to create, maybe it's that. I can't find it right now, unfortunately, but yeah, it's somewhere in here. We have instructions on that on our support site actually, and it walks you step by step for how to set that up, and you can move the different tabs within here. You can create a new Lightning app, and like I have several created right here, and you can add different tabs to it. So it's definitely something that we have on our support site.
I'll put the link to that in the follow-up email that everyone will get. Another question that we received was, is there anything special that you have to do to enable external sharing And I know that you mentioned there are things that you need to do. So I'll put the link to those support articles in the follow-up email as well.
Yeah, there are several steps that you would need to take to set everything up, but we have step-by-step instructions on our support site. And if you have any questions with how to set it up, our support is always there to help out.
Yes. And the last question is, when is this release available?
So this release was available as of last Saturday. And if you don't see these new features in your Salesforce yet, we have a direct install link, and we have you can also upgrade from the App Exchange. But reach out to us if you don't see that, and we'll help you upgrade.
Um, I don't think we have any more questions, unless anyone wants to sneak one in really quickly. Okay, I'll get the right links in the follow-up email. If you can't wait that long, all that stuff is also immediately available on the support website. We appreciate your time today.
Yes, thank you for joining us.